Sorry I'm late. I'm Johnny Scoville, and this is Chase the Heat. We're going to hang out and chill together for a little while. Huh. That's interesting. No problem. All right, so I do feel bad I'm late. I was on the phone. I apologize about that. Where is it? There we are. Sorry about that. All right, buddy, thank you for being here. Ethan, E-Dog, Wenger, good to see you, man. Nemesis, nice to see you. Jason P. Brandon Breeding, good to see you, man. I was just on the phone. Andrew McLaren, good to see you. All right. So, hi, Alex Vasquez. I'm just going to say hi to everybody for the first few minutes. Make sure I say hello, and then we'll do question and answer after that. So, the life of Dennis Brace. Good to see you. Will Gonzalez. Good to see you. Respect from Georgia. Sean. What's up, Johnny? Been watching since the pound of dry chocolate bulas. Really? That was a minute. That's a long time ago. That was first season for sure. That was brutal. I remember calling it the first season then. I thought it sounded silly, but now that we're in season 7, it kind of makes sense. Doesn't sound silly now. Brandon Guile, good to see you. Alive. John 5. What a great guitarist he is, huh? Mischievous Moonshine. What are we eating today? Got a little bit of Reaper. This is Carolina Reaper beef jerky from Jeff's famous jerky. Here's the deal. I'm not going to do anything crazy. I got to get up at 4 o'clock in the morning. I thought I had to get up at 5. Only I didn't look at my the time I have to get there. It's just I have to get up at 4 to make sure I get there. So this is really very, very good jerky. What I love about it is there's a sweetness. It's Carolina Reaper flavored jerky. You can taste the Carolina Reaper, but there's a sweetness to it that is beautiful. Anyway. CYG, Virginia. Good to see you. Hi, Keith Ayers. Mike Spagnola, good to see you. Aaron Giorno, good to see you. Do things generally get through customs? I've had tons and tons of stuff. Like over the years, there's thousands and thousands of packages sent to me. A lot of them have come from overseas. So a lot of them didn't have problems. I've only had pods shipped to me overseas once. As you know, you've heard from Germany. I had trouble when I was going to Australia. I was bringing over a case of tubes of terror. And on the tubes of terror, they're roasted. They're roasted, you know. You're not allowed to bring raw nuts. They're really careful about what you can bring and what you can't bring in. You can't bring in raw peanuts. These aren't raw. I just think they looked a little bit too much like a weapon or something. I think it scared them, and they grabbed them, so that was a problem. But usually things are okay with them, I think. Ethan E-Dog Wenger just bought a Trinidad Moruga Scorpion Pepper hot sauce and Carolina Reaper Habanero Ghost Pepper pickled today. Wow, sounds great. Both are delicious. Yeah, sounds good. Andrew McLaren, my favorite super hot is a Killer Yellow grown by Tom Broom. In addition to those, I love Ghost Peppers an awful lot. I love Yellow Moruga Scorpions a lot. Kangstar Lemon Starburst a lot. I tend to prefer yellow pods. Rich Newton, my man. Good to see you, dude. I won't be in the office tomorrow. Leaving at 4 o'clock to go do this again, but I'll be trying to take care of what we spoke about. My good friend. Billy Prater, good to see you. Still at it. Hello from North Carolina. Still at it. Yeah, still at it. Still crazy after all these years. Greg F., good to see you, man. Thank you for being here. Hi, Ted. Ted Hammond, good to see you. Tim Von Gaza. I always say that wrong. I hope I feel better. I feel good today. I caught my rest. I've done my. You know what I did? I got home yesterday. I didn't even fully unpack until this morning. I unpacked. I took the clothes from the suitcase, put it in the wash them, dried them, folded them, and put it back in the suitcase. So, but I'm packed and ready to go. So all I gotta do in the morning is get up, shower, get some coffee, and get ready to go. So, and the good part is when this is over, my part of my work is done. I'm finished for a while, and that's really cool. It's nice, you know. Not that there's pressure on me, but there's a little pressure. Hi, Gunnar. Hi, Derek. The Life of Dennis Brace. Johnny, what is the thing you want to do in the future that has to do with YouTube? Anything in particular? You know what? I don't know. I don't know. It's a good question. You know what? We're going to get that plaque. The next one, that's the silver play button. The next one is the gold, which is for $1 million. That's going to happen. So that's going to be kind of exciting. There's a few people I'd like to do a collab with, but to me, a collab isn't like a split screen. It's with a person. I would love to do a collab with LA Beast, and I would love to do a collab with Steve-O. I can actually see both those things happening, believe it or not. So, good question. Metal Music Maniac. It would be really cool to sample Hot Peppers with Mr. Worldwide, the only one, Pitbull by side. You are my best friend. Andrew McLaren. What a nice thing to say. Arsenal. Johnny, I know that face. You ate something spicy, didn't you? No, I ate a little spicy. Not bad. Some beef jerky. But I don't want to focus on chewing. I'd rather make sure I connect to everything. But it's very good jerky. I've gone through several summer bags of it. It's good stuff. Thank you, Rich. Excellent. I'm glad. I use one daily too. Mike Cook, good to see you. Willie Swansboro, good to see you. Willis, excuse me. Austin, what's up, buddy? Good to see you. Ryan Albertson. Hope everybody's good. Keep it spicy, fam. Thank you. We are, for sure. Ted Hammond asked, do you think people with no pain receptors would experience any heat from the high-flying Scoville peppers? I don't know. You know, here's the thing. You hear stories of people that have no pain receptors. I think I know a couple. I think I know a couple. One personally. One know of. And I don't think they feel it in their mouths, but I think they feel a disruption of some sort in their stomach. So I don't, and these are people that I know that eat really, really hot peppers. So hope that answers it. Oh, Brian Ames. Yeah, you know what? I'm sorry. I'd love to do Brian Ames is a very cool guy. You know that? I would love that. Excuse me. Mr. Ray Ray. Have you ever had a ghost habanero cross? I think I probably had to have at some point. I can't remember. You know, been a lot of peppers. I'll have to check. George Heilman. I went to both days of a chili festival this past weekend. How exciting, huh? Got myself plenty of goodies like classic Pepper X and several local sauces. Even did a hot sauce shot competition. Sadly didn't win, but you were there. That's a memory, George, that you'll carry forever. Chili festivals, man. They're the most fun. God. You know what? If they got tons of speakers and just play the Dead, because of the vibe and the feel, you would totally feel like you're at a Dead show. Just the vibe is exactly like a Dead show. I'm glad you had a chance to do that. Chad Matthews, good to see you, man. Thanks for being here. You know what I'm going to say next, right? Holy Monkey Farms. Howdy, thanks for being here. I love hot peppers too. Hope you're doing splendidly. I am George. Jimmy Pickles is in the house. Mr. Pickles. I'll be with Mr. Pickles tomorrow. A couple other chili heads, or at least one more chili head. Uncle Bull Cow, good to see you, bro. Thank you for being here, man. I got the package. Thank you so much. And one of the reviews will be done in the morning. Just be looking for it. It's I'm not gonna say which one it is. But I'll tell you, of the sauces you sent me, it's the one that the name of it is my favorite name, maybe of all time. So you probably know which one that is. You can probably figure it out by the name. I just loved it. But I'll be there in the morning. Hope you're doing good. Josh Adler, are you a fan of Spicy Shark? Yes. Oh, they have some great stuff. I was about to say their blueberry syrup. I've gone through a bunch of that. Stuff is amazing. The problem is, most of the time I get that, I just drink it. You know? What's great is you get like McDonald's, it sounds terrible, McDonald's sausage McGriddle, and just pour it all over a sausage McGriddle. Forget about it. It's very, very good. I think the UK chili queen is not human, Ted Hammond says. She's something, isn't she? She is something. You know, yeah, I've said it before, but, you know, do you understand her record is spooky? 97-0? That's absurd. She is a chili pepper thug. No two ways about it. Every time I've ever seen her in a contest, I've said it the last time we talked about her, but every time I see her in a contest, there's always a point where if you're betting, you're like, oh, bet, you know, she's going down. This is it. This is the one where she loses. And I mean, every one she's ever been in that I've watched, there's a moment where you're thinking, doesn't look good for her. And somehow, it's right when that happens that she's like, she hits another gear and just stands on it. And she is just, she's amazing. She is amazing. Like, she is human though. But yeah, she put it this way. I will tell you this. She and I will meet again. Okay? I promise you. So pay attention. Sheen and I will meet again for sure. Dizzy Dragon, good to see you. Thanks for being here. Nico, Wonderdust. Good evening. 1:22 in the UK. Finally made one of your live streams. We've been wondering when you're going to be here, man. Uncle Bullcow was just talking about you, saying, when do you think Nico's going to be here? And I'm like, I know, it's like late. Tonight's the night. And here you are. Thanks for being here. Okay, Andrew likes hot peppers, but his doctor says he cannot have the hot stuff. Do me a favor then. Don't eat the hot stuff. Listen to your doctor. You know, you can get, what's the habanero that has no heat? What's the name of that thing? I can't remember the name of it. They have a habanero pepper that has 0 heat. Somebody in the thread will know the name of it. I've just drawn a blank. But it tastes like a habanero, but there's no heat to it. So what I would suggest for you, Andrew, is grow some of those. You'll have a chance to eat peppers. You'll totally still be a chili head. You'll get a chance to grow them and watch them grow and cultivate them and see their babies grow, and you won't hurt your stomach. So anyway, habanado. Thank you, Chad. Habanado, all right? Or habanada, excuse me. That's exactly what it is, habanada. Because there's nada heat in the habanero. So get some of those, Andrew, and I promise you, you'll still feel like you're in the game and you won't be hurting your stomach, all right? I tell you because I care. Dizzy Dragon, you missed nothing. You're here. We're glad you're here. Everything's good. I have never seen her tap out. No, she's undefeated. She's 97-0, and I've gone against her. Listen, Ted, I've gone against her 3 times. 3 times. I didn't think I was. You know, here's the thing. All 3. If you, there are videos. They're still there. You look at all 3 times I've gone against her. While we're eating, for the most part, I seem stronger. I'm handling it like even though she's not like snot and drooling, you can tell she's really hurting. She kind of like, you can tell. And I'm still, I don't know. Definitely, I think I was stronger while we were eating them in Sacramento. Maybe not in London, yeah. But I probably in Belgium though, so I think you. I'm gonna get her. I'm gonna get her. Pickles. Ahi Delight has zero heat as well. Yeah, you know what? Ahi Delight is a great pepper. Oh, is that tasty? No problem, Andrew. We tell you because we care. Tim D, good to see you. Vern Bolstad, favorite movies? Good question. There's a whole bunch of favorite movies. It depends on what genre, you know. Um, Blade Runner is one of my favorite movies. That's a great movie. Some of the greatest lines. Just an epic movie. You know what? The second one's actually still pretty good. But Tombstone is a great movie. It's one of those movies I can see over and over again. Casablanca is probably my favorite movie of all time. There's a lot of great movies. Blazing Saddles is a ridiculous classic. Young Frankenstein is amazing. Full Metal Jacket is an amazing movie to me. So is Saving Private Ryan. Just a couple. Also, Fulminant Jalapenos. Yep, Holy Monkey, exactly. Austin, no, I love you, buddy. Help me with my addiction. Wow, cool, man. Austin, I'm glad to hear that. Stay strong. Peppers help too, though, you know. So glad to hear that. Scooby the Buddy Queen, hello. Always up. Women have a higher pain tolerance. Boy, listen, I've been handed losses by women more than men. Mike Cook, I don't drive anything now because I'm preparing to move out of the country. I've driven a lot of cars. I used to listen. I've gone through stages where cars were really important to me. You know, I worked in a business with Tommy for a while. It's funny. I worked with Tommy. We started a business. It wasn't our business. These people were basically, they wanted me to run the room, and there were two people, and where they opened the room was going to be determined by which guy they went with. They interviewed both of us, and it was me. At the time I was just moving to Reno, so they went with me, and they decided to open the office in Reno. And my brother and I started with there were 4 people in the office, and within probably 4 months we had 180 employees. We were doing $250,000 a week, and we were driving Porsche 911s to work. And at that company, it's amazing. At that company, that wasn't my car. You have to understand something. That was a company car. And when you became a manager, we had, I think the most we ever had at one time was 4. When you became a manager, they drove you down to a place called, what was the name of that place? It was an exotic car shop in Reno, the Auto House, and it's spelled Haus, Auto House. And when you became a manager, they'd fly in and they would take you down there. I'd go with them because I ran the whole thing. And you'd pick out a Porsche within reason. At the time, you could get a 911 for anywhere between 20 and 40 grand. And the company would buy them and give you the cars. As long as you were producing and you were in good standing, you drove a Porsche to work. So I've gone through the stages where cars are really important to me. But when I get to Oz, I'm probably going to buy a Tesla. Just because it's perfect for the town that I live in, perfect. So I might do that. Not sure. Nico, I have seen the videos of you going into Chili Queen. Probably the only time I ever thought, man, I hope UK goes down this way. Listen, I'm gonna get her next time. You watch. Tombstone is great. Holy Monkey. Jaws is another great movie, George, for sure. He's my favorite rocker. Boy, I don't think I have one. Too old to have one. If I was 18, I could probably tell you I have a favorite rocker. I'm way too old. Been to way too many shows, you know. Dale, hi, good to see you, man. Tombstone, Unforgiven, absolutely. You know what? Outlaw Josie Wales. If you want to go Western, that's probably the greatest Western of all time. Clockwork Orange is great. Super disturbing. Boy, Stanley Kubrick is a different character, isn't he? Dizzy, I agree with you. Anything Mel Brooks does is funny. Fact, Ted. And you know the funny thing? Everything Mel Brooks did couldn't be made today. That's the sad part. Big O, man. I'm good. I'm beat. Big O's Tavares. That's Big O, man. I saw you called. I'm going. I did my wash today, and I unpacked do my wash packed, and I'm leaving at 4 a.m. to go do it again. So, but I'll be back. They haven't even booked a return flight for me because I'm not quite sure they know how long this is going to take. So, but I'll be back. I can't imagine it going past Thursday. Maybe Friday. I don't know. But I'm good. Just in case, good to see you. It'll be Bundaberg is the town, north of Brisbane. Jamie Vicious, good to see you. Jamie Vicious. Jamie Vicious. I can't quite see. My eyes are bad. Quest for Fire. Yes. Fresnos are awesome. You know what? It's crazy, Chad. I got to tell you something funny. I must have eaten 30 Fresnos on film this past week. And I ate one that, believe it or not, was spicy. It was great. It surprised me. It made me laugh. Good to see you, Brandon Taylor. Thanks for being here, man. Marty Paxton. Johnny, you are the magic bus rider. Chasing the heat. Have a great day. I love your show. Thank you so much. It's our show. I appreciate you being on the bus. And it's your bus. I'm just the guy behind the wheel. You guys know where I got that, right? Got that from Jerry Garcia. At a show, he said, I'm just the bus driver. This is your bus. And that just stuck with me. I thought it was cool. Mike Berry, vocalist. My company car is a golf cart. I do maintenance. I may ask for reports, though. It was a fun car. Mine was white with a whale tail. Tommy's was red. And then I didn't have the goatee, and neither did he. We were just bald. At that time, you could not, we looked like wickedly like twins. And everywhere we went, like we drive somewhere, we go to the bank together because we get our checks at the same day, and we drive to the bank, and he'd pull in, I'd pull next to him, and everywhere he went, people thought we were twins. It was a pretty funny time. I went 150 in that car once. It was crazy. I just put new tires on it. Actually, when we got it, they needed new tires. So I had the car like 3 days, and I had to drop it off, which was so frustrating because I loved it. It was an amazing ride. So I dropped it off and had brand new, really nice tires put on it. So it was in Reno, and you can gamble in Reno, but you can't buy lottery tickets. And I had a big phone room I ran. So I wanted to go buy lottery tickets to give them away as spiffs in the phone room. Next sale gets 2 lottery scratch-offs. And these are things you can't get in Reno, so everybody loves them. So I was going to drive right over the border to California to this little store to buy them there. So I had my secretary's name was Patty. I said, Patty, want to run with me to the store and grab some, this is funny, you grab some lottery tickets? She was sure. So we jump in the car, and she's like, wow, the car is so cool. I'm like, I couldn't even believe it was mine. It was just like, the engine was in the back, you know, so when you stand on it, the noise, the rumble, it was air cooled before they went to water cooled. Water cooled, they sound, when you're in traffic and you're just going slow, it sounds like a Honda. This thing sounded like a stock car no matter where you went. So we were going down, we're on the highway. It's a short, maybe half-hour drive, but there's this big, big hill. And we were going like 75 or 80 miles an hour, but it felt like 40 or 50. So I put my hand like this so she couldn't see the speedometer. I said, how fast? And the sunroof was open. I said, how fast do you think we're going? She goes, 50. I said, like 80, 85. Isn't that crazy? She's like, wow. So she says, how fast could this car go? So I said, I don't know. I said, let's find out. It was a 4-speed. And it was crazy because it felt like you'd run out of gear. You want another, for the first couple of days, I kept hitting the clutch in 4th gear because I wanted to shift. But it's just a 4-speed. And I stood on it, and the car takes off, and the car had just great power no matter what gear you were in, or anywhere in the power band. And we're just going really, really fast. We got to 130, 140. At 145, there's this big, like, from the sunroof, this terrible, like, sucking in and out. Like I can't even describe it. It was unbelievable, the noise, because from the sunroof. So I'm driving. I'm going. I didn't take my foot off the gas, but I reached forward to close the sunroof, and when it shut, it almost pulled my. Patty had her hands like this. She was holding her ears. I couldn't because I was driving. When it shut, it almost blew my eardrums out. We got up to 150, and I mean, there was telephone poles, they weren't telephone poles, but there were poles on the side of the road, and they were going by us so fast. And the car probably had more left, but I was scared to death. So I stopped. But I went 150 in that thing. That's the fastest I've ever been in a car. think I'd ever want to do that again. I can't, it's not stupid. Think about how dumb that was. You imagine how stupid that is? Chell's Os, good to see you. Perpetual Pepper Projects, good to see you. Always up and a subscriber for years. Just want to thank you for getting me into the lifelong love of spice and chilies. Thank you so much. Always up. It's a good thing we share. Brings people together. It's exciting. Tim D, I still can't figure out how to join the bus. I know you told me, but I can't find it somehow. Someone said how to do it. I don't know how to do it from a laptop. Big question. Anybody that has, this is important. Anybody watching that has a YouTube channel, do you know how you can do a live stream just like for members only? I've tried to figure out how to do that, and I can't. I can't figure out. I'm not the most tech savvy guy, but I'm coming up where we're going to do a live stream just for the guys with a bus pass, and I want to figure out how to do that. So if anybody knows how, let me know in the chat or email me at chasey@gmail.com. Dale, my super hots have sprouted. No way. Can't wait to suffer through a yellow reaper. That's a great pepper. Oh, it's exciting watching them grow. Puppet Master, fascinating take. At least 200 IQ. I don't know what you speak of. What is my favorite color? Black or pink, believe it or not. Lee James, good to see you. 145, that's still fine. I went the first time, I went 145 a few times in an old car I got a long time ago. I had Eagle Talon, all-wheel drive, TSI all-wheel drive turbo. I went 145 in that a bunch of times. It was a pretty quick car for the day. Bizzle 636, hey all, bus driver, hope you're all great tonight. I am. George, incidentally, my mother also went to the same festival and got herself a white Jolokia plant. No way. I'd be interested to try one. I've only had chocolates, yellows, and reds. You know what? They're not going to, red Jolokia have such a distinct flavor. You know what I mean? They really are. Super distinct. White, it almost tastes like the flavor washes out with the color. To me, it's what it's like. You get a chocolate, it's super strong flavored. You know what I mean? You go to red, still strong pepper, but some of the flavor is different. As you go lower on to orange or to mustard to orange to yellow to white, as the color kind of washes away, I think some of the heat does too. Maybe it's just me. You're not an idiot, 636. Not at all. Bizzle 636. You're sharp as can be. VW to 90 downhill after 5 miles, Mr. Ray Ray. Ted Hammond got a 280Z up to 150. It's terrifying. It's way. No, Bizzle 636 hit 174 on a crotch rocket. Wow, that's horrifying. Oh my gosh, that gives me the creeps even thinking about it. Like for real, I don't like thinking about that. I have a friend with a channel that cannot filter out non-members, but they can filter them out in the chat, so only members can comment. Yeah, I know that. I figured that one out, Ted. I'm trying to figure out. Here's what's happening. I'm doing a special challenge. It's a very, very special one. But I want to make sure. I'm trying to think. I'll figure it out. I'm gonna make sure that the people on with the bus pass see it first, like a day ahead of time, and then I'll just upload it again. I don't know. I'll have to figure it out. I'm going to figure it out. Surround the World. Good to see you. Was Eagle Town reliable? Yeah, it really was. It was fun. I once went on a beach in Galveston. I had 3 people in the car. One person, because it was a 2+2. And we were on the beach. It was after we had a fire pit and everybody was just partying. And I put it in first gear and popped the clutch. I mean, I revved it up and dropped the clutch, and you couldn't I could not spin the tires, even in the sand. It had limited slip differential in front and back, so if a tire started to spin, it would cut horsepower and deliver all to the other ones, and it would regain it, and it was just all like a million. It was just very advanced for the day, and it was. Here's the problem with that car. Like in a rear-wheel drive car, if you get into a skid, you turn towards the, front-wheel drive, you turn into it. Right? You turn away from it in a rear-wheel drive, and you turn towards it, into it with a front-wheel drive car. You get into a slide with an all-wheel drive car, and you hold on. It's like the craziest feeling. You don't really know what to do. To me, it took a lot of the fun out of the, like every other car I drove, I knew when I was getting it to the limit. And I was really hard to find out where that limit was with an all-wheel drive car. And I didn't like that part of it. Tom Broom, my man, you're kidding me. Thank you for being here. Rodden from Sweden, glad you're here. I got to read Tom's comment. The hood on my Gremlin was shaking like that when I went 140, 145 one time. That was going to be, go rip up, so over the roof. Yeah, right? I don't know exactly what I was going because I buried this bomber. Yeah, how fast? You were flying. You're a scientist. You can probably get a rough idea of how fast you're going. Joshua Stone, have you ever forgot to wash your hands and touch your privates after eating a hot pepper? Have I? You kidding? I made 4,500 videos. You think I'm 4,500 and oh? I burned myself silly countless times. Comes with the territory. Rodden, good to see you again from Sweden. I'm so glad you're here. Sweden's a cool place. Always up. You are my first and second cars, both Eagle Talon. No way. 92 and 93. Did some work to both. They were fast. I really liked mine. The problem is, when I bought it, I lived in Vermont. And in Vermont, you need air conditioning for like 3 weeks out of the year. When I bought the car, I didn't have a lot of money. I had just enough I could buy that ride. It was black interior, no AC. But it was gorgeous, and it was just a beautiful car. So I thought I don't need AC. And then circumstance changed beyond my control, and I had to move to Texas. And that's the reason I got rid of it. It was going to cost me a ton to put the AC in. I traded it and got a great Jeep. But I can't. People say you have no AC. I say, yeah, I have the 140 AC. They say, what's that? 2 windows, 140 miles an hour. We'd roll the windows down and go as fast as I could, really quickly. It would suck the hot air out, but it was awful. Just in case, I'm the most baby chili head. Jalapenos make my nose run, but I love them. Still a chili head. It's not a contest, dude. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you're eating peppers. Got to start somewhere. Even if you never ever advance beyond jalapenos, you're a chili head. It's the truth. Travis, I got my mail truck up to about 55. If you've driven one, that's terrifying. They're death traps. I can't imagine. My brother Tommy and I rebuilt a MG Midget. 1968 MG Midget. And it was in British Racing Green. And the engine, if you've never seen the inside, the engine on an MG Midget, you can pick it up and pull. You don't need to wait. You can literally pick up the engine. It's such a small car. It's a toy. But we rebuilt like virtually the whole thing. And when we did the leaf springs in the back, we were studying this thing with it took us like 10 hours to do the leaf springs on one side. We could not figure it out because the way they are, it was just impossible. It took us like 10 minutes to do the one on the right. Once we figured out how to do it, it's like, oh, now we get it. But Tommy and I try to do the electrical on that. And you'd be driving along, and the first time we got it going, and I went on a date. I went to pick up a girl, and 60 in that car feels like 150. You're so low to the ground. It's just so stiff. It's teeny. You feel like the car is built around you. And 60 miles an hour feels like you're going so fast. And I picked up this girl on a date, went out with her for a while, dropped her off. I was coming home, and the lights go out. So I'm driving on the highway, Houston, the lights out. And when you're in an MG, every car seems like it's an MG, it's teeny. I had to get off and get on the feeder and drove almost the whole way home with the lights off. And as I pulled into the neighborhood, the lights come back on. It's crazy. But that was a terrifying car at 55 too, for sure. Mike Cook, what's the most premium tacos you've had in one sitting? I ate 13 or was it 18? I want to say I ate 18, I think, in one sitting. That was plenty. That was a lot. But according to the TAC, I was doing about 145 air friction. That's hauling the mail, Tom. That's scooting right along. I sometimes wash my hands after something hot. Later, rub my eyes and ow, didn't wash thoroughly enough. Here's the thing. I used to think I used to do that. I'm like, oh man, I thought I washed my hands, or I didn't wash my hands good enough. Let me tell you something. If you eat enough chilies, it's not a matter of it getting on your skin. It's in you, seeping out of you, and it seeps through your fingers. I know that sounds absurd, but I could be in the shower like, wash my hands, wash everything, dry it off on a clean towel, go to get an eyelash out of my eye, and my eye is stinging. Because there's never a moment where my skin isn't, it's coming through my skins. And the other thing is, if you put gloves on and you de-seed enough, if it's super hot and you do enough of them, they'll go through latex gloves. They really will. Peppers are brutal. There is a way to stream only members. Look it up on YouTube. Awesome, Dizzy Dragon, thank you. I'm going to Google that thing. Vern Bolstad, I'll send you a pic of my peppers. We're growing, but they're all habanero, jalapeno, and ahi. Don't say but. Those are great. I don't, but I'm going to. My father bought a 1991 Plymouth Laser Turbo front-wheel drive, brand new back then. They were fun cars, man. You know what was funny? It's got that bulge on the hood. No need for it. There's nothing underneath there that requires that. Just they thought it would look cool. And it did. I was like, I don't know how old I was. I was a kid. So it was like, yeah, to me, I was like, I gotta have that. But at the time, seriously, at the time, I don't remember what it would go 0 to 6. I think it was like 6.4 seconds or 6.5 seconds. And that's not fast today. But for the day, that was great. And I was a skier and lived in the East Coast. So when snow came around, you know, you'd see trucks on the road. Because here, you know, when you drive a truck and it's a 4-wheel drive truck, there's only 2 drive wheels, one in the front and one in the back. Like that. Front, back, and that's how. But when you have an all-wheel drive car, all 4 of those are drive wheels, and it's so different in the snow. But it gives you a false sense of confidence, and you can very easily get yourself in a jam with that car. For real, Ethan E-Dog, do I cook spicy dinners for my family? I live alone. Don't let that bother you. My family is all over the place. I think it's on visibility settings or something like that. Thank you, Dizzy. I live alone for now, but just for now. Did you ever have any dirt bikes? I restored my 96 CR80. Oh, wow. I rode around a lot of them, but never owned one. I had friends that had them. Glad I probably would have died, you know, for real. Do I like WWE? There's some wrestling I can totally get behind for real. More in the past than present. Big Ryback fan. Love Ryback. You guys know that I did a collab with him, right? Most of you guys know that. If you don't, I did a collaboration with Ryback. The big guy. Drove down to Las Vegas with Johnny Jr. and hung out with him and ate peppers with him, did a podcast with him. He did a tube of terror in a hot tub on a 115-day, inside a hot tub. Oh, I can't believe he did that. The guy's a madman. He was super fun to hang out with, though. He was just such a normal guy. For real. Boy, the chat is just going, I can't keep up with it. I caught up, and now I'm starting at the bottom. I'm sorry, I'm trying to keep up with everybody here. Jim Justice, I'm sorry I'm late. Deducted from my pay. Yeah, I'm going to don't let it bother you. It's no big deal. You know what? I was late, too. 10 minutes. So don't let it bother you. In a pinch, got a bus pass. In a pinch, thank you. There's a lot of juicy stuff in there. Thank you. Enjoy the content. I hope you will. Stream for everybody. Rick Henry. I'm going to do this is a absolutely epic thing. I'm going to do it. Everybody's going to see it. But the people on the bus, with a bus pass, are going to see it first. But don't let that bother you. Honestly, it doesn't change a thing. You still get to see the video. So, honestly, Corky, good to see you. I'm doing well, thank you. Thank you so much. Nico, how quickly does tolerances typically build? They build quickly, but they fall quicker. I've been wanting to get mine up, ready for Komodo dragon fruiting this season. Wonderful. Yeah, it takes time. But it does build if you work at it. Chest Rockwell. Hello, bro. What's your most favorite beef jerky that's hot? That I I love. Thank you so much for being here. Let me think. Sergeant Dunn's beef jerky. He's made some really great super hot jerky. But there's a lot of really great super hot jerkies out there. Just one that came to mind real quick. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Let me tell you something, Mean Gene. Exactly. Exactly, Ted. I think with Ryback was the only time you got hiccups. Yeah, Dizzy Dragon. That's right. I can't believe. Yeah, boy, Dizzy Dragon's been on the bus for a while. I was driving back. I wasn't even going to film it. I was driving back, middle of the night, with Johnny Jr. I get the hiccups. I never, ever, 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 ever get the hiccups. If I mean, it was such a rare thing. I'm like, give my folks. So I videotaped me with the hiccups because they lasted a long time. Because, well, you know, if you never get them and they last 2 minutes, it's a long time. But this seemed to last a long time. But that was funny. I can't believe you remember that. Mr. Wolf, love Ryback. You're lucky to be friends with him. He's a very, very nice guy. Even my son, it was just when we left, my son was just like, wow, he's so cool. Way before we filmed, we just sat in his living room just talking with him, and just kind of forgot why we were there, the real purpose, and we were just kind of chilling. And then it was like, oh, hang on, and then he ate some peppers, and we did a podcast. So we filmed stuff from my channel, did a podcast for him, but it was one of those guys that you just feel like you've known for 100 years, even though you just met him, It was very fortunate that I had a chance to meet him. That, every once in a while he messages me on Instagram. He's a good guy. I would love to do another one with him, actually. Anthony Hanley, have you ate Indian radish? I have not, but I'd love to jump at that. Lord Kiss Freak, my man, thank you for being here. In a pinch, cheers again from Rockford. I used to live in Rockford in a pinch. I think we talked about that. Right outside of Love's Park. Lord Kiss Freak, hi, bro. Boy, you know what? Now that you're on the bus pass, I should tell a crazy Rockford story. Not now, but for bus pass, since you got a bus pass, you'd appreciate the story. I do have a very crazy. I wonder if I should tell that story. I absolutely will. I'm going to, but for the bus pass, you reminded me of that, and I won't forget now. Hot Sauce Chucky Tim, good to see you, man. The motorized scrapper, great timing. Eat with me. Hot tacos. Watch a great guy talk. Ha. Good to be here. Thank you for saying that. It really is kind of silly. I'm just talking. Think about it. It's kind of weird, isn't it? Fortunately, I'm already packed, so really there's nothing to do. Just got to go to bed and try to get some sleep. I never really sleep too well before a trip. I'm still tired from the last one, and I got back yesterday. I'd be really happy if I got some sleep tonight. That'd be great. Corky just ordered the Chili Cherry Nightmare. Looking forward to it. It's a hot candy bar. Dude, the Mad Cow Peppermint Maddie's Challenge, that was delicious. Isn't that Hot Sauce Chucky Tim? I worked with Tad and Kit when they developed that. Speaking of Tad and Kit, here's Tad and Kit right here. There's Kit. There's Tad and Kit in front of the bus with our logo in the middle. They're the greatest people in the world. I love them, for real. Good people. I heard hiccups can be involuntary gasp for air. Justin Case, I heard it was always just a trivia. This is what they always say, that your throat is irritated by the capsaicin, and that's how it responds. But it doesn't happen to me, so what do I know? Mac Whitaker, good to see you. Love you too, Mac. For real, good to see you. RSB, hey lads, good to see you. Best cure as always, works for hiccups. Still pickle juice. Drink a few swallows while you hold your breath. Never failed me yet. Sounds good, Chest. I just never get them, Big Al is great. Haven't seen him in a while. Actually, that's not true. I saw him 2 weeks ago. He's great. Yeah, we all love Big Al. Charlie Mullins, my man. Good to see you, dude. Thanks for the good travel wishes. I'm sure it'll go well. It's funny. I haven't had a flight that's been with turbulence on it. I can't even remember, for years, like years. And I've flown all over the place. Going to California and coming back, they were both really shaky. Anytime, when planes do that, I just like looking at other people. Because it's funny watching other people respond to turbulence. I mean, the plane's not going to crash, So you sit there with a starstruck rumble, you look at people, and some people, their reaction is, it gets you through it. It's comical. It's like comic relief. That's how I kind of take it. Mr. Wolf, has anyone told Tommy of your slip in the last members vid? I don't know. I don't know. I don't think so. That's funny. I don't know. I screwed up the ending. It was only, yeah. I screwed up the ending. I was on Tommy's video, on Tommy's live stream. He was saying things about me he shouldn't be saying. They were not bad. They were all very complimentary, but he was saying things about me that he should not be saying. And I kind of reminded him of that. And he said, look, you drive your bus, I'll captain my boat. Got it? I thought that was very funny. So at the end of the video, I messed up and I kind of said, you know, the lifeboat instead of chase the heat. And I figured it would get back to him. Did I pack my cape? I don't know what cape you speak of, Mr. Broom. I have a sachet of Carolina Reaper candies. Just 2 big peanut size and supposedly ripping hot. I'll try some later, George Highland. You need to. Sounds good. The good news is, Mr. Wolf, Tommy can't see it because he doesn't have a bus pass. How do I spend my time on super long flights? Is this the furthest you will have traveled? No, this is a short flight. This is a really easy one. I'm just going, it's a 2-hopper actually for this one. I'm going to Iowa. So, no, my longest flight so far, and that's nothing. I mean, going to California was 5 hours. I'm your hero. Tom Broom, cut it out, dude. You know, you're mine, man. We have plans. Tom Broom and I, if you knew the plans. If you knew the plans Tom Broom and I have. But it was 5 hours flying to California. But, like, when I go to Australia, I have to fly 5 hours to California. And then change planes, and then fly 17 hours to Australia. And that's, you know, I've done a lot. The first 3 years of the channel, I went to like 7 or 8 countries and went on a lot of really big, long flights, big ones. And things get interesting after about 12 hours, no joke. People start getting a little bit, you know, look over, like, hey, what are you looking at? You looking at me? And you get that sort of thing. People start getting frustrated. You know, but here's the truth of it. They treat you so much better on international flights. They do. They treat you really nicely on international flights. They feed you 3 times. They come around in the morning with a hot cloth that smells minty to kind of put on your face. They're trying to keep you happy because you're going to be stuck on that plane for 17 hours. They're scared things, people, you know, it's like a prison yard. There's 5 of them and there's 400 of us. You know, they're trying to keep things from getting unruly. They don't want fights happening. You think I'm kidding? I've been on a couple crazy flights. I was on one in Russia where people were getting a little unruly. So on long flights, you know, they're very, very nice. They treat you super nice. But in spite of that, after 12 hours, you know, you're like, God, you know, and you start thinking about it. We've been on the plane for 12 hours and we have 5 more to go. It's mind-boggling. It's crazy. Like nothing with an engine ought to run that long. I don't care if it's got like tires, you know, a propeller, you know, any kind of motor. Nothing with a motor should run for, especially wings, should run for 17 hours straight without some sort of a breather. You know what I mean? I don't know. Bizzle636, I imagine it's so awesome having a sibling that does YouTube also. You know, I'm so proud of him. It's fun. I mean, it is, yeah, I can I tell you, I really enjoy his videos a lot. I really do. So yeah, it is. You know, I'm proud of him. Here's the thing, though. You know, he and I have done so much speaking for a long time that it sort of fits in with him. And with the subject matter, he's an expert, and he's really, really helping people. So, but it is very cool. RSP, I was once in a Black Hawk flying out of JFB Air Force to Dover in a whiteout blizzard. That was an experience. Shaky planes don't bother me anymore. Wow, that sounds gnarly. I got a good one for you. I was in Siberia. Hand to God, this is a true story. I was in Omsk, Siberia, in the capital, at Omsk International Airport, in the capital city of Siberia. And it was February. And we're flying out, and we're trying to get out. We have to get out because I have like 30 people with us, and everybody's passport's going to expire. Oh no, wait, No, we had like a half a dozen, pardon me. We had like a half a dozen people, but everybody's passport's going to expire. So we had to get out of there in a hurry. And we had to get out of there that day. And the snow, the plane was made, it's an Aeroflot plane made, I don't know what that model was, but it was made, on that trip, I learned that at that time, and it was in the 90s, at that time, the newest planes in the Aeroflot fleet were made in 1955. So at best, this was a 1955 airplane. So we're sitting on the plane, and the propellers are going, and it's snowing hard. Like there's this much snow on the wings. And I'm like, I got a horrible feeling about this. It's terrible. And it's just like, no one's feeling good about it. And it's a big plane too. It's not a little plane. It's a big plane, but I think there were two on each side. Well, I can't remember. I can't remember if there's one or two, two or four, but they took and I'm telling you a true story. I swear to you, I've told this before in other videos. They had a flatbed truck. I'm thinking they're going to de-ice the wings. They have to de-ice the wings. Everybody was saying that. Everybody that can speak English, you hear them saying, are they going to de-ice the wings? Are they going to de-ice the wings? We're all hoping they're going to. For those who know, de-icing is it's a chemical. They spray on the wing. They spray this. It melts stuff. It keeps stuff melted. That's how they de-ice wings. Well, in Russia, they had a flatbed truck, and they had a giant turbo, just like you see hanging off a wing, only it was flipped this way and bolted onto a flatbed. I'm sitting on the plane. I got the window seat. I'm looking out. Like, I'm not even believing what I'm seeing. I'm like, there's a turbo on a flatbed. For real. They pulled in front of the plane, backed it up, so it was about maybe 10, 20 feet in front of the wing, and they fired the turbo up, turned it on, and it blew all the snow off. Made tons of noise, was right next to us, and blew all the snow off. Everybody could hear it. It's like, then it pulled forward, backed out, and pulled in front of the other wing and did the same thing. It took a half hour to do that, though. So by the time it did that, this one's building up again. So then people started saying, is that all they're going to do? Are they going to put some chemicals on it? I'm like, chemicals? We're in Russia, Siberia. There's no chemicals. As soon as the thing moved away, the plane turned around, and we went down the runway and took off. But it was terrifying. But that's a true story. In fact, I have a relative that was on that plane who's a pastor. So he would verify that. It was crazy. Let's see here. I love my little orange bus. It's my favorite color. I dig it, Dizzle636. Thank you so much. Patrick Wolf. Have a good night, everybody. Patrick Wolf is a ridiculous chili head. If you guys don't know, he really is. He's legit. He's the real deal. Lord Kiss Freak, you're welcome, Charlie. Jacob Deathridge, here, late, but here. Thanks for being with us. And you've been lurking. You just decided to comment now to keep me on for a few more minutes. I know you. I'm glad you're here, bro. Good night from River and Dale. Good night, guys. School tomorrow. Great content. Thank you. Get good rest. Have a good day tomorrow. It's Monday. Have fun. Jared Spots, excuse me, handing out hot peppers on the plane. I've done that before. RSB, your brother's cool. He is. That guy's brilliant. I passed out plain peppers on the plane when I jumped out of it, and the guy that I was attached to ate one. Almost gave me a heart attack. You guys see that one? The very first skydive video I did for the channel, I ate 3 Reapers. And I was just playing around. We have like 2 minutes to go before we have to jump out of this plane. We're climbing a little bit more, and they're filming. I had a bag of Reapers. I was just playing. I said, I got enough for everybody. Anybody want one? And the guy, his name was Scott. He's behind me. He goes, yeah, I'll take one. And he takes it and eats it. I was like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, he's not a chili head, you know? And I'm going to be attached to him. And in a minute, we're going to have to jump out of the plane with him dealing with a pepper buzz. That I don't know if he that was scary. So he ate the pepper and swallowed it. And if you watch the video, he swallows it. You can see him go blink a couple times. You can tell it got to him. And then the camera cut. And the second the camera cut, I turned back. I said, "Are you out of your mind? Why did you do that?" I'm like, "Are you okay?" He's like, yeah. I'm like, I'm strapped to you. Are you okay? Are you gonna be okay? Are we gonna be okay doing this? He's like, yeah. But man, that was crazy. I didn't know he was gonna do that. You know. RSP. Have you ever thought about making a book about all your experiences? I'd read it. You've had an interesting life, brother. Chasing the heat with Johnny. Actually wrote one. Actually wrote one. I've written 2 children's books. I did write a book about my brother and I and our kind of our youth. But I would need to. It stops like 20 years ago, and so much ridiculous stuff has happened since then. Almost crazier stuff that happened before then. So I almost need to write it over again. It had 2 titles. First, it was called the Scooby and the Bunny Queen. Everybody's having a great night. First, it was called To Dodge a Bullet. That's what I named it. But then I kind of changed it to the Chameleon Chronicles because I'm going to have to add a lot more to it. That really fits. But I kind of wrote it for me. I don't know if I could let anybody read it. Patrick, you and Rob are the only people in the world who have tasted every single tincture I've ever made. Think about that. Patrick is a chili head, man. Rob too, but Patrick is a beast. Flamin' Jackson, I love you, dude. Thank you for being here. What a good dude. Just planning my last tray of seeds for 2023. Boy, I love hearing that. Now it's just waiting for it to happen. Huh? That's awesome. Bucket Bot. What is your favorite sauce, and which do you consider to be the spiciest from everything you've tried? Hello from Romania. Wow. Thank you for being here. I don't really have a favorite sauce. My favorite sauce is whatever sauce I pick for a meal. If I pick the right sauce, in that moment, it's my favorite. However, the spiciest sauce I've ever had is Thor's Hammer. Spiciest natural sauce. I really think it is. I still think it's the spiciest sauce I've ever had. And Thor's Hammer is made by Atomic Peppers. Atomic Peppers? I think Atomic Peppers. No. You guys remember who makes Thor's Hammer? I feel like an idiot. I did this last time too. Bizzle 636. I've tried and tried to get the endorphin dump, but my brain doesn't work. Tell me what's the, where are you at pepper-wise? If say like I'm at habanero and I've tried Ghost. Give me an idea of what you're at and what you've tried, and I'll help see if I can guide you. Or I can say, scratch my head and say, wow, you're unique. I don't know. I gotta love all the love going on in this thread. Flamin' Jackson, you're a great dude. That's awesome. I'm glad you're here. Just gotta push it further. Yeah, in a pinch, you know, but yeah, I think you gotta go way past your comfort zone. That's the thing. You gotta go way past your comfort zone to get an endorphin rush. And a lot of people, or maybe you just have a unique, physical makeup. I'm not quite sure. I'm looking forward to hearing your answer. Hot Sauce Chunky Tim, Davis Mango Habanero. I dig it. I follow you on Rumble, Johnny. I didn't know you had a Rumble channel. I do. For those of you who don't know, I have started a channel on Rumble. Volcanic Peppers, thank you. Not atomic, volcanic. I have a channel on Rumble. It's called Chase the Heat. If you'd like, you can go over there and check out some content you haven't seen. I'm going to continue making. I have not been as active, nowhere near as active. There's probably half a dozen videos there. However, I'm going to continue making content there as well. So if you want to go over there, check that out and give me a follow. I would appreciate it greatly. It's still a bus. It's just the Rumble bus. You're a great dude. There's a whole bunch of great people. Thank you, Flamin' Jackson. My favorite is Mango Habanero. Mango Habanero. That's funny. That makes more sense. Davis Mango Habanero. I'm going to put my comment again because I made sure I counted all the peppers that you had. A false peak. Reaper, Fatale, Gourmet Jigsaw. Wow, you are. You and I need to get in the same room and meet. Okay, these are the peppers that have given me a false peak. Reapers, Fatale Gourmet Jigsaw, 7-pot lemon crossed with a Reaper, and a weird Fino round bootla. Doesn't happen often. It's a fun, beautiful thing when that happens. Oh, I love that. Thank you so much, Dizzy Dragon. You're unbelievable. Seriously. If we were gonna write a book about Chase the Heat with Chase the Heat like trivia, like you'd need to be in on that. Dizzy Flexigons. Riley, that's hysterical, right? Seriously, that's a big one. I remember, let me tell you something. I did a video once where I did a giveaway, and I said I had the most obscure. I did a video. I had a dog. When I started the channel, I was married to my ex-wife. We had a dog. I said that dog's name once in a video. One time. I think it ran into a video a couple times, but I said his name once, and we were doing a live stream. It was like a 25-hour, I think it was one of the 25-hour live streams. I was going to do a giveaway, whoever, and I said, I had a dog, I've said his name once, what's his name? And I mean like 2 seconds later, someone said Boss, B-O-S-S, Boss. I was so shocked by that because I mean, one time, and I mean, obviously there weren't 4,000 videos then, but that's still so many videos and they remember that. Uncle Mungo's has some great sauce. He's a great sauce maker, for real. C19 is a contender. It's a hot one. Might finally get to the Tube of Terror 2.0 on Tuesday. Hot Sauce Junkie Tim. Here, some advice. Don't try to do them fast. Or try to do them fast, but don't put too many in your mouth at one time. I'm serious, like 3 or 4 at a time. If you do that, your jaws will get, believe it or not, less tired. If you put too many in, it's like chewing sawdust, man. And it's honestly, getting that down is really difficult, so be careful. RSP, you've got that magic that makes people feel better. Thank you. You guys give me that, though. See, it's just, you got it backwards. You guys all have that magic, and you make me feel this way. Everyone here is so nice and supportive. Something special is going on here. Love you guys. You know what's really funny? If you look at the backdrop of what the internet is, isn't something special happening here? The internet's a cesspool, you know? Now, I said I was going to go till 10 my time, which was 2 minutes ago, but we're going to stay on for about 5 or 10 more minutes because I started 10 minutes late. I feel bad about that. So we're going to hang out a little bit longer. But something is special. Something special is happening here. Been loving Thomas's lemon brain strain tincture. Tasty. In a pinch, no doubt about it. Tom is the man. He's the OG when it comes to pepper tank. No doubt about it. I get mom to mix some with extract because I hate the taste, but I love the heat. Yeah, I got that love-hate relationship with extract too. Tomorrow I filter my first 9-month lemon tincture. Tom, I wish I could be there, dude. Man, the last time I was there, we had all of his tincture out. Oh, man. That was so much fun. Doomed is terribly hot, Bucket Bot. You love my channel and me and my girlfriend. You truly are a guidance to us. Wow, makes me feel good. Thank you so much. Just teaching the ropes. Your highest score was a bootless scorpion that got to a 7. You almost want to call it a challenge. Of course, you said if it's always harder, but that's the second highest score. Huh. You're starting to scare me, Dizzy. Slow your roll, man. No, I'm just kidding you. I'm loving it. It's funny. Fiery Jack's products yet? Nope. Fiery Jack's. His chip challenge was brutal. I was the first one to eat 4. But I've not tried his. Is he mainstream or is he a hobbyist? Like a professional, or just let me know. It sounds interesting. Chill to Pinex. I just got here. Fortunately, we're going for a few more minutes. We're going till 10 after. All right, so we got another 6 minutes, but thank you so much for stopping in. In a pinch, is there a schedule for the live streams? I keep catching them at the end. This is the first time I've been lucky enough to catch most of them. If I'm home, I do them at 9 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. I sort of tried to do that when I was in California. I was just there filming for a project I'm working on. Tomorrow, usually it's Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, and Saturday. Monday, Wednesday, Friday, and Saturday. So tomorrow's Monday. I don't know what time my flight gets in. So, but I would imagine tomorrow we'll do a live stream. But it's kind of hard because I got a lot going on right now, but I'll try to keep doing them. Corey Bamer, weird question. Let me read it first. Yeah, weird question. There's got to be a better way. Don't waste your capsaicin on something like that. There got to be a better mousetrap. There's got to be a better one. Seriously. Sorry. Walter John. That's a seasoned YouTuber. Years ago, I would have just read that thing off. Nothing personal, but I'm glad I didn't. Walter John Burgess checking in. Love your style, dude. Rock and rolling as always. Stay hot. I played a lot of guitar today. Probably shouldn't have, but I did. You take a week off, and you feel it. Except for Drew, you'll get my first bottle of 9-month lemon. It should be hotter and richer in lemon taste because of the extra months. Mainstream from the UK. I'm going to be doing boy. Yeah, we'll do one tomorrow, but I'm not sure how long it's going to be, but for sure we'll do one. Watching from Illinois, love to rot. Glad you're here. Tomorrow tomorrow when I arrive in Iowa, it will be the 8th state that I've gone to film on this project. Isn't that crazy? Oh, it's crazy. To me, it's crazy. 8. John Smith, if there's a challenge between you and Roger Trier, who do you think would win? I don't know. Roger's got a crazy tolerance. No two ways about that. And he's tough. So I think that would be I'm not the kind of guy who's ever going to say, well, he'd win. So I'd give it my best. I can tell you that. It wasn't the MRM brown peach. It's had a lot of flavor of the heat. Got too much. Huh. You don't know what pain is. Blade Runner. Boy, the best Blade Runner line, Aaron, is... Let me think. I've seen moonbeams glisten off the shoulder of Orion. I've seen attack ships on fire. No, I'm sorry, attack ships on fire on the shoulders of Orion. All these things will wash away like tears in the rain or something like that. It's a great line. Where he dies, and he goes, time to die. That's the first time you see that, you're like, oh, wow. That's such a heavy scene. What does he say? He says, I've seen moonbeams glisten on Tannhauser Gate. I've seen attack ships on fire off the shoulder of Orion. All these things will be lost like tears in rain. Time to die. Not bad, huh? Anyway, that's what he says. Fiery Jacks, PM me. Thanks, man. For Corey, I take a fresh super and rub the juice on the wires. Tom, you lunatic. What's your problem, man? Why did I read that? You tricked me, Tom. I didn't think that would come from you. Working in tandem. I love it. Would you ever go head-to-head again with the Chili Queen? This, I promise you, I will. Listen to me, all of you guys. There's only 44 of us. I'm going for another minute and a half. I promise you, give you my word, all of you will see me go head-to-head again against the UK Chili Queen. Am I going to get my Australian citizenship? Mr. Ray, yes. That's what happens when you marry an Aussie. For sure. I'm going to retain my US, though. I'll have dual citizenship. I'm never going to do that. I'll never get rid of my US. Daisy, I think it was on the warmer Jigsaw reviews, but a car wouldn't stop passing on the street. Did like 4 turns during the video. Whew. All these things will be lost in time, like tears in the rain. Yes, RSB. That's so great, huh? You know what's funny about the second one? I'll be honest. I went into that thinking, I'm not going to like this. The first one was so good. How do you even dare attempt to do another one? You know what I mean? But I watched it. I was like, was pretty cool, man. So yeah, it was a good movie. Just recalling weird events during reviews. That's funny. I love your passion. Your fire in your eyes is stronger than the one in your mouth. And any bottle of sauce, from what I've encountered at least. Respect, man. Thank you, Bucketbot. Gar, Steve-O, talking about you in a podcast today. Was it a live one today, or was it a podcast you saw today from a while back? If you don't mind me asking, Gar. Thank you for telling me that. The reason I ask is Steve-O was talking about me in a podcast about, I was doing the Louisiana shoot for the show, and I was in the airport, and someone messaged me and said, Steve-O's talking about you in a podcast. So I saw that. It was pretty crazy. I was like, wow, that was kind of crazy. So I'm just curious, is he again talking about me, or is that the old one? Let me know what podcast you saw it on, if you don't mind, Gar. That would be great. I'd like to see that. Remember earlier in the video, someone asked me what kind of what would you like to do in the future for YouTube? Because I've done a lot of stuff. I said I'd like to do a collab with Steve-O. I'd like to do that. So he certainly knows who I am. Plus, he's talked about me, but I sent him a package of all our stuff, and I've spoken to his PR guy. Do I like the taste of curry? Weird, smelly man. Yes, I do, actually. I love it. I love curry. Flamin' Jackson, you're a star. Do you know that? Seriously, there are so many people in the world that bring people down, and it's such a negative thing to say. You are just an absolute rock star, and I love you for it. You need to know that. Hey, Gar, if you're still here, please tell me what the name of that podcast was, if you don't mind. See if you can find it. Let me know. Jeff Coy just got here. Oh, no. I'm already a minute past what I said I was going to do. I'm going to stay just a minute longer. We've been going for an hour and 10 minutes or so. I'm going to go just a little bit longer because I want to see if Gar can tell me, if you don't mind, where that podcast was where Steve-O was talking about me. I'm just trying to figure out if it's the same podcast he was talking about me last time. I think it was an old one. Might be, yeah, We Might Be Drunk. Yeah, it's the one. Yeah, if you guys haven't seen it, go check it out. It's actually pretty funny. It's the podcast. It's the guys. Their show is called We Might Get Drunk, or We Might Be Drunk, something like that. But it's kind of funny. The other comedians knew me too. Yeah, not kind of weird, huh? We Might Be Drunk. Yeah, it was We Might Be Drunk, but that was kind of odd. Anyway, listen, I love you guys a lot. You're all wonderful, for real. I'm gonna wrap it up and see if I can get some sleep, because at 4 o'clock we're starting up again. Love you guys a lot. Thank you for taking the time to hang out with me. You guys are all great. In the description box, all the normal stuff. I'll catch you guys tomorrow.